While the variants have been fueling a surge in cases all over the world, Indonesia is battling one of Asia's worst outbreaks, largely driven by the Delta strain of the virus. For more on the situation there, let's now go to our Jakarta Bureau Chief, Judith Ho. Judith, what's behind the latest rise in infections there?
We were not prepared for the arrival of the new Delta strain. Even now, the government is still figuring out a way to come up with a set of restrictions that would be enough to curb the spread of infections. We have also seen conflicting policies from the government. They were telling people to stay at home unless they need to leave their houses. But at the same time, they would say the government workers should consider working from Bali to help revive the island's economy. They've also seen lax enforcement of the restrictions that are in place. For example, in May, when people were actually not supposed to travel home or to gather with family reunions over the Eid holiday, we still saw at least 1 million people leave Jakarta to go back to their hometowns. We still see that same difficulty in enforcing the policies today, even with the tighter curbs in Java and Bali.
And how is the healthcare system coping with this new wave?
So the short answer is that the healthcare system is not coping. We've heard so many cases of people asking for help getting hospital beds, asking for help getting oxygen tanks because there's a shortfall across the country. Even with new tents being erected outside the hospitals and apartment buildings being converted to isolation units, the hospitals are still pretty much full. Right now, the government is considering importing oxygen to address some of the shortfall. They are also bringing in healthcare workers from other parts of the country to help with the most hard-hit islands of Java and Bali. But we will have to see how well that works because right now the government is predicting that the peak of this current outbreak might actually reach 70,000 cases a day. That's their worst case scenario. And right now we're already seeing the hospitals so overwhelmed with cases around 30,000. The government has already imposed the tightest curbs yet on the islands of Java and Bali. Those are the most populated islands and they're also the economic centers. The curbs are including work from home for all sectors that are considered non-essential, and all shopping centers are closed and restaurants are dining in only. The issue is still the enforcement. They were expecting the mobility to fall by 50% in order to curb the spread, but they've only seen that drop by 20-30%. They're also trying to ramp up vaccinations. Their target was 1 million doses a day, which we have actually seen them achieve so far in July, but they do want to boost that eventually to 2.5 million doses a day. Even with that speed, to reach the entire population of Indonesia and to reach their target of 180 million people vaccinated, that's still likely going to take quite a long time.